Hello everyone, I bring to you a very unusual match. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you know who Tesla 246 is. He's a pretty strong player, very unique kind of player, and that only uses Adder. And in this case, Tesla is playing against Starflash. And Starflash, if you've also watched the channel, maybe you watch other Advanced Wars by Web content, Starflash is very well known, plays a lot of matches. I think he's right now taking a little vacation, but when he's playing, he plays 25 matches in the Global League at the same time and Live League, and just like insane, and always at a really high level, and plays really fast as well. Just an amazing player. And you'll notice that, you know, Starflash is Olaf and Tesla is Adder. Quite a bit of a tier difference, right? You got a tier 2 against a tier 4, and although Adder is pretty good in tier 4 standard, like usually he is the best in tier 4 standard, very hard to find a map in standard where you don't want to pick Adder, and sometimes he's just, you know, straight up banned to have more of a variety. It still doesn't mean that he'd be able to fight against, you know, tier 3 or tier 2 even. And Olaf is pretty strong. Usually you'll be picking Max in tier 2, but let's talk a little bit about the map. This map is called Celeste, and it is a really high income map. It's one of the highest income maps in standard, and it's also like really like small and really close. Your reinforcement lines are so close. You got your 2 base here, and your 1 base, 1 airport right here. The airport is super forward as well. It is not uncommon to see someone flip the other one's airport. There's kind of a win condition there of like closing out the game where you get both airports and you start making stealth fighters, because they're not that expensive here because there's so much income, and because they don't have an airport, they can't counter your stealth, right? So they can't make fighters, and so you kind of close out the game that way. But it is also a really strong airport. Look at this, right? It's within 1 turn of hitting this city with a copter, even this one, but these bases are super close, so everything is within 2 turns reinforcements. You'll be seeing medium tanks, neo tanks, artillery. Also, there's lots of mountains, so lots of little pockets where you can hide your artillery and defend. This map is wild, and there's so much income. Look at every city is like within 3 tiles of another one, right? It's like insane. Definitely Kindle land here for sure, but again, high income means that power based seals can be stronger. So I think in tier 2 probably Olaf is a really good pick. Maybe Eagle would be the best pick here. Just imagine a lightning strike, right? You make a unit and it's hitting on that same turn, like insane. But that is in a normal matchup, and this is not your normal match. We got Adder against Olaf, and now a lot of people might be like, oh, yeah, it's a given. Olaf is gonna win because, you know, 2 tiers above. I mean, you could say that, you know, for sure, but Tesla is known to beat players, good players, even underpicking with Adder. Just winning by tactics early and just getting a nice early lead. Maybe some people underplay because they're like, whatever, it's Adder, I have a higher tier, I'll just win. And then they kind of like, you know, they underplay and they underestimate Tesla, and so they might not position correctly. All of a sudden Adder, boom, gets the +1 movement, plus stats, kind of wrecks your army by day 10 or something, and you can't recover from that. Gains a huge income lead, starts making neo tanks that you can't counter, stuff like that. So let's jump right into the match slowly. Let's change the direction of these guys. So we have Starflash in Blue Moon over here. I'm staying true to what the players chose, and it's funny because it's also like if you're a very classic, you know, Advanced Wars player, it is also true to the CO's colors. You got Black Hole, Adder, Tesla here, and Blue Moon, Olaf with Starflash. I hope these colors are contrasting enough. I'm not sure. You're gonna have to let me know for next time if I should change the colors here. But looks like already Tesla is going to be skipping some captures here. Looks like same thing for Starflash. So they're both going for this little skipping of these immediate cities to go forward for maybe this chain right here. They're both sending the first infantry from the one base over here, and most likely then is going for that airport. You really want to get that airport early, because again, a recon or a tank, or even I've seen artillery in 2 turns, they can be logging that airport, and if you don't get that airport, just call that GG and queue another game, because no airport in this map. And artillery here, if it's well protected and denies that airport, it's gonna be really hard to break through, I think. But anyways, here we go. Both gonna go for that chain right there from the one base. Again, also skipping over here, Tesla. Like this infantry not only skipped this city, and now it's also skipping this one. So really going forward. Possibly gonna go for this city. This is definitely a very contested city. You have these 2 mountain tiles where you can attack from with infantry, put artillery behind. So also really close to this one right here. And I think 2, 4, 5. No, with artillery it takes 2 turns to lock. But yeah, you definitely want to get this one early if possible, because later on it's just gonna be super contested. So there we go. We're gonna be moving forward to go for that airport. This is definitely just a fake. Oh, I'm gonna go for here, but really I'm gonna go for the airport kind of thing. So let's see. Okay, we're gonna get that city. We're gonna get this one as well. There we go for that mountain city. Starflash is not gonna go for that. He's been using that second infantry back here to get the city first. Then this guy will see if he goes either here or here. I'm gonna actually skip this city. Possibly two. Okay, so Tesla gonna go try to rush this mountain city. So something that Tesla does a lot, because you know he's with an under tier, you know, under picking. He tends to rush a lot of contested cities to try to get them really early, and then try to hold them on. And that is one of the ways that Tesla is able to have that income lead. So we're gonna get an artillery from the one base. Okay. I'm gonna get this capture here. I also want to say I'm super thankful for all the messages that every now and then I get a message, either a DM or a message on the side of just being like, hey, I really like the videos, and I just want to be very appreciative of that. I really do appreciate that a lot. Those messages, they're very nice, and they're very motivating for me to keep doing this content, you know, and covering more matches that have been very, you know, special. And I feel like covering and making a video out of a match kind of makes that match go into like eternity, you know, like having a coverage of a match kind of brings it to life, and it just motivates me to make more of it. So I do want to thank for all the people that send those messages. I appreciate it a lot. Anyways, back to the match. We have this artillery moving forward. Starflash is going to make a recon and a tank over here. A recon could have, you know, early, it could somewhat, pressure the airport, like try to deny the capture. I think Starflash is going to get this airport. This would have been scary if this was one turn later, then you will definitely interrupt this to interrupt the airport capture. So definitely want to time those airport captures in this map to get them as fast as possible and avoid any kind of shenanigans of getting it interrupted or something. Now both vehicles are going to be moving forward, gonna put some pressure on this artillery. It's going to be a bit tricky for Tesla to cover it properly, but I think it is just in time to just sit back, pull back the infantry and cover the city, as these two guys are kind of there like, I want to get that city. So gonna get so many captures. You can see there's 5 cities here, and like right in between the cities there's a lot of captures that need to get captured. You got this one in the corner as well, so definitely lots of infantry at the beginning are going to be occupied. Like at least 3 or 4 infantry are just going to be occupied doing these back captures and these captures over here, just stuff that is not contested really. And so it's going to give a lot of room for these vehicles to move early, as they're so close as well, literally 1.5 turns away from all the contested cities, to be putting pressure. And in those cases, sometimes, which is similar to like high funds, it can be very worth it to sacrifice one of your early vehicles, maybe it's a tank or a recon, just to injure an infantry in the contested cities, which would really delay or deny all the captures, especially on the one base, right? Because like you don't have that many infantry. And like say Starflash got a hit on this guy before, then this guy won't be able to capture here. It's just you're gonna be making lots of vehicles, so less infantry. So sometimes sacrificing a vehicle, the Poland style of just sacrificing for income, and some maps like this one, it can work really well. There's a very important aspect as well here of pressuring and kind of cornering this base, and then front shifting maybe to the other side. But it's a tricky map. This infantry is gonna move here, still gonna be in range, always putting that pressure onto that capture maybe. And we're gonna make an artillery and a tank. No shots fired just yet. But this tank is sitting on the city, so it is preventing capture here. So a little bit of damage is being done by Starflash already. And it's gonna be very hard for Starflash to flip this city with his artillery locking it here. But maybe with this pressure, it's gonna pin it down so Tesla can't get this city, for example, or this one comfortably. So it's gonna make this artillery move out or something. It can't be covering all the cities at the same time, right? And at the same time, Starflash doesn't have this city, so he's gonna try to get that. But you do have Tesla already in position to be interrupting this. I'm gonna go for that capture. Or got this tank there, got this other infantry, which is right there, nice and in range. I'm gonna have the tank chain on the 2 base, and okay, doesn't shoot, moves the tank right next to it, but doesn't shoot at it. Okay. Okay. I think maybe the logic behind that is that without the comm tower, this would be a 6-7, and there's a chance of it being 7-6 trade. And then on Starflash's turn, gets the comm tower, then he gets to attack again, and then maybe finishes it off with the anti-air, and then the recon can attack the artillery. So maybe that's why. So just leaving it there without attacking makes it impossible for these two to take out this tank, and so the recon can't attack. And now if Starflash does decide to attack, it can just get shot. And there's another tank backing it up. So there you go, we're gonna get that comm tower. Comm tower not really, oof, look at that, 9-4. And then does it get the kill? It doesn't get the kill, okay. Okay, so I was right. So yeah, that definitely would have been a KO, I think. But Starflash, he's like, sure, you have an artillery pointing at my tank, you have another tank pointing at my anti-air. I don't care, I'm just gonna attack them all. Gonna cripple that tank, and I'm gonna use this recon to attack here. So maybe this one almost dies. This one also, like these are gonna be severely injured. But the recon is gonna go away unharmed with damage already having been done. And again, not a lot of infantry, so it's gonna be hard for these captures to be made with such few infantry, and also forcing vehicles to be used to interrupt captures instead of healthy infantry, right? So that's important. And at the same time, kind of like overwhelming, like going for that capture here. So now this artillery is like, that classic, lots of people say, overloading the artillery kind of strategy, like putting too many targets on it. And this is, I think, a good example of that. Like, does this artillery want to, it was supposed to be covering the tank, right? From this tank. But now, does it shoot at the tank? Does it shoot at the anti-air? Does it shoot at the capture? Because it had kind of a lot of jobs. So, we'll see. Just now going for that corner. Look how late this corner probably, I mean, it's day 8, but still a lot of action going on right now. And we got our first copter right here, which is gonna force an anti-air. So let's see what Tesla decides to do over here. Gonna be some important decisions. Okay, Takes out the anti-air, makes a copter. I'm gonna use that infantry to interrupt, and then uses the other tank to hit down. Okay, so I think that's pretty decent. I was thinking of maybe you shoot with the, like, you use these two, or you maybe use the artillery and this tank to sort of finish off this guy. You use the tank to hit the anti-air, and then you interrupt this capture and attack from the mountain onto this guy. And you also, and you make a copter, right? To kind of deny this permanently. Since the anti-air is almost dead, then you can just shoot from the mountain. But we're also gonna bring this tank over to the middle, kind of to like reinforce this defense. And Tesla's gonna let Starflash get that city and just pulling away from that copter, not making any anti-air. Look at all this infantry. Just pay attention to what Tesla does over here. He usually does these little two mechs walking together. I made a video about Tesla covering a few matches in a row. He always does that, so it'll be funny to see that if he does that again. But Adder, is well known for that power, the just the 2-star, what is it called, the side slip. Get that +1 on every unit plus the normal stats that you get. And the infantry with that do benefit a lot. Like, you have to be very careful. You have to always be positioning everything, a tile away. You usually use your infantry to cover your stuff, your copters and everything. And if all of a sudden those infantry can move further and they can take out your walls, then you're more exposed. A very tactical CO for sure. And as I'm saying that, you can see here Adder almost ready to use that power, so that is something that Starflash has to be careful of. But Tesla and Adder does want to get a big advantage over Olaf, because Olaf is just gonna that global damage is something to fear. And look at this wall of infantry right here. Lots of unprotected infantry. Like from this copter, I'm not sure why. But in comes a copter, just kind of pulling back from this attack, from blue here, even from this capture as well. Gonna have to wait for these anti-airs to come in. A very important moment of every match in standard, whenever copters start coming in. There's a transition into anti-airs, kind of have to pull back. So very a little bit of a back and forth. So finally finishing all of the back captures, it seems. We're down to the last few that maybe are somewhat safe, and then it's going to be all about those contested cities. Looks like here Starflash is going to go for this city and just kind of cover maybe. We're going to interrupt this city right here and bring that artillery to lock it down, and then surround the artillery. Copter is nice and protected from any copter or anti-air, so that's nice. Even got that anti-air, look at it's covering, but it's also, look at, it's reaching the airport, so you gotta be careful with that. It's very easy to do this, in 2 turns. I mean, in 1 turn you're already airport locking with an anti-air. You need to have some kind of presence here, or block or something. So it's tricky. There's so much. You can go towards the middle, towards this area, to the airport. There's all this whole area they can fight over. So Tesla actually decides to go and engage. That's gonna give him enough charge for a power. He decides to use it. But yeah, just like jumping into the attack. Even though there's a death ball here from Olaf, you're gonna bring all the forces and slam into there. You're gonna use a side slit. Most likely to take out this guy, I think. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna take that guy out and interrupt that capture. He's like, nope. Oh, okay, never mind. Actually doesn't interrupt that capture. Gonna KO. We're gonna finish off that tank and the other one. Ooh, and that means this tank can reach the artillery. Oof. See what I'm telling you? This is classic Tesla. Just going for these opportunities of early tactical breakthroughs and crippling your army during the mid game, so that you can't just comfortably sit back and just accumulate, take it to a late game. No, he's like, I'm gonna cripple you, then I'm gonna take all that income, and then I'm the one that's gonna be comfortable going to the late game, even if I have a worse CO than yours. I mean, I say worse, but maybe in Tesla's mind it's not worse. Maybe for Tesla, Adder is the best CO. And just gonna sit here and kind of block from any I don't know, this anti-air from blocking the airport. But you gotta be careful because Olaf, that global damage is gonna sting. So Starflash, he does not go down without a fight, so he's gonna start this capture. He is gonna engage into this fight, even having less tanks. Like, look, there's only 2 tanks. There's 4 tanks by Tesla. Just a overwhelming amount. Because the 2 tanks from Starflash didn't attack anything, and they were both taken out in full with like almost no counter damage. And the artillery also, like, ooh. So that's like 3 vehicles that went down for nothing really, for more of a position. So now Starflash is gonna fight back. He's gonna take 1 tank out and a half. So that means that somewhat the trade was 1.5 vehicles in favor for Tesla. You can see there's 2 tanks and a half and a copter, and there's 1.5 tank and a copter. It's a weird way of viewing trades, but I think it's definitely kind of effective. You can definitely see if it's worth it to attack and who's overall winning in the brawl. And Starflash decides to use Blizzard, the power of Olaf. Not wait for the Winter Fury, the super, which is snow plus global damage, just snow. And I think that's very funny because I think the main reason is exactly this, so that this anti-air cannot reach that copter, right? It slows it down, and you would need, even with a power, even if like with a side step, this anti-air does not reach that copter, because you would need 8 move to get here. This copter still can reach here, but it is, covered by this anti-air. So, and this copter can't attack as well, it's slowed down, so it can't attack here. So it's funny because you have the guy, they have the CO that moves extra, right, all the time, and Olaf with the snow makes you move less. So it's like you move +1, okay, now I make you move +2. Yeah, I mean -2 or -3. And for infantry it hurts so much. Look at this, ridiculous, right? Like look at this movement, this is horrible. So here comes this copter, only moving 3 tiles. Poor infantry also cannot move. No way to interrupt this. Look, I think another reason for the snow. There's no way to interrupt this capture, so that is definitely some value there for Starflash. I don't think it was a meme. I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe Starflash was very confident and like, oof, he's 2 tiers under picking. I'll just like do whatever, kind of playing a little recklessly. But again, gotta be careful because Tesla is, he's not just any player. He plays really well, has really good tactics, and knows what the win condition is. And yeah, there's a mech right here. Let's see if there's another one. If it's the classic Tesla. Okay, there's another. Okay, never mind. Maybe next turn. I swear, if there was a new player with a new name and you'd see like the 2 mechs walking together, I would already know that is a Tesla alt. So there we go. Starflash finally gets this city, so gets some compensation, gets a nice income lead, 4k above Adder, so decent. And here comes the anti-air, which was injured by this tank. I think there was a 5 HP tank here from Starflash, so that was easily breaking through and then injured, but still good. 6 HP, was it? 6 HP? Yeah. Anti-airs are just so good. Look at that. Boom. Now 2 HP copter. What's it gonna do? You can even take it out with infantry with a good roll. So, and Starflash just keeps on attacking, being pretty behind on value after that big attack by Tesla earlier. So we'll see. We're gonna try, but doesn't get to break through there. I think that's an unlucky roll, but it's gonna. Okay, never mind. Does not break through this and just injure that tank. And gonna get another attack there for enough charge for another blizzard. So 2 blizzards in a row. So Starflash is like, oh, you moved +1 for one turn, you're gonna move -2, -3 for 2 turns in a row. How's that? So we're gonna get these copters just chaining reinforcements and just gonna battle it out in the middle. Like, let's just fight it here. And it's gonna be really hard for the reinforcements of Tesla, and that's definitely wearing down on that army. That definitely got a nice trade early with that engagement, but these two snows, Starflash, you know, very creative player, didn't go for the global damage and decided to do double snow, which is extremely uncommon to see. Usually you just do global damage, but it's working out here in a more like brawly sense, and so he's able to take better engagements without the reinforcements being able to reinforce. So Tesla's gonna get a nice shot here into this tank with artillery, gonna take out a copter. Ooh, doesn't get to finish that guy. And he's gonna try to finish this capture eventually. Gonna almost take it out, and then gonna get a few first strikes. But yeah, it's getting hard for those new tanks to arrive. I mean, there's definitely 1, 2, 3, and this one's just out of range. But Tesla does have the full charge ready. So that means that you could potentially use Sideslip 3 turns in a row. Yeah. Like you get one, and then in the second one you get a little bit of charge, you use it again, and then in the third one you get a little bit more of charge, and you'll be able to use it a third time. That is just brutal. 3 turns of having Von Bolt stats and moving one more. That is really, really strong. And not gonna attempt to capture that. Just gonna stay there in range, keep it like at side slip distance, and that's it. And now it is Starflash's turn without charge, so we won't be seeing any snow this turn. So Starflash is gonna keep fighting. Very brawly state right now, right? Like just fighting all out in the middle. Try to get the upper hand in this brawl. I'm gonna take out all these tanks. So now there's only 2 tanks here, healthy for Adder. And Starflash does have 2.5. So that is pretty good. Gonna take this one out as well, take that guy out. I'm gonna start this capture, which you know is not gonna pull through because look at all these guys pointing at that city. Yeah, it's not gonna. But it is gonna force a fight. It is gonna force Tesla to keep fighting over here. So that is probably something that Starflash wants to do. And we just do tank, copter. No tech ups just yet. Just very brawly, lots of light vehicles. Let's keep the fight going. So, and Tesla is going to use the side slip. Of course, got the charge fully charged, so might as well just use it. And that's going to enable this little capture right here, which I don't think that Starflash can interrupt. Nope, nothing is in range. And Copter's going to take out that guy. We're going to take out that guy with extra stats and get a few first strikes. Cleanups. Meg's just going to move forward and just bring the reinforcement. And there we go, we got the second Meg. They're not hand in hand, but maybe soon they will. And not going to go for any of these captures because this Copter could just interrupt it for free, and this anti is not in position to cover for it. So maybe next turn. And yeah, a little bit of a cleanup of the overextended units maybe that were like more in this range, but not a lot of vehicle kills. So all the vehicles from Adder just kind of stayed back in position for next turn, didn't engage into Starflash. So all in all, after this the double snow thing by Starflash, it enabled him to come back to even after that little engagement that Tesla had in the beginning, which was very favorable. And he does have the economic advantage. Like he does have 26 or 22. He's gonna lose this city, so it's gonna be soon 23 to 25. At that point, it doesn't really matter. 2K at that high income doesn't make that much of a difference. And Starflash, you know, any other player with this tier difference would just sit back. You have the income lead, you have all that. Just sit back, make artillery, heal your units, defend your cities, let Adder come to you, and then shoot him down with the Winter Fury. But Starflash no. Starflash is like, I don't enjoy that. I'm just gonna brawl. I'm gonna fight it out. Let's have some fun. And so that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna charge in with these 2 copters. Boom, get a hit there. Boom, get a hit there. The thing is that, I mean, this is showing the side slip range, but Tessa has the charge to do another one, so that can die. And this one maybe can't. Okay, so this copter will survive. But yeah, everything's gonna move forward. We're gonna start this capture right here. We're gonna join these tanks, and then just bring everything over here. Ooh, I swear it's so nice now to have been fully recovered from the flu I had. Now my throat doesn't hurt or anything. I'm not coughing, so that's beautiful. So there we go. We're gonna get the second side slip. Doesn't go for any first attacks, which I think would be smart to get the third side slip in next turn, but doesn't go for that. Just apparently it needs the side slip for every attack right now. We're gonna go for another city right here, and it looks like Tessa's gonna actually attack these 2 guys that were kind of like reinforcing through the back, and maybe Starflash didn't realize that they could get picked off like this. Even the mech is covering this tank now. Gonna definitely bring this anti-air to cover from this, but you're gonna need more than one. There's 2 copters and the airport, so. But putting a lot of pressure, so yeah, and this guy's gonna go down. We're gonna interrupt that capture. Tessa is just going in. We're gonna finish that guy, get a first strike on that tank for sure. There you go. And heal up this artillery. And then artillery's gonna come over here somewhere. Okay, tank goes this way, and anti-air, does go over here. And at the same time, he is trying to flip these 2 cities. This infantry cannot reach. And so I'm not sure. I think maybe you can break through here, but yeah, one of these copters I think it's gonna have to be used over here to interrupt this capture, and I'm not sure if you can interrupt this capture. So one of the 2 at least might be flipped by Tessa. So he's definitely gonna get some reward from this. But it's interesting how there's all the vehicles from Tessa are here defending on the 1 base side. Hasn't even been able to get these 2 cities, which is the reason why he's behind in income. This is the 2k difference right here, and has a lot of infantry over here. Gonna get a hit here with the city that he was actually able to flip, so this is gonna die, and Starflash is gonna get it back. Like, look at this, boom boom, that is 2 KO. I think we're gonna break through here, and we're gonna KO that tank on the city, and take that one out, and take that copter out. Oof. Just fighting in this little kind of choky area somewhat. I mean, it is 3 tiles wide, but just like occupying this line means you can only get 1 shot at each unit. So let's see, he's gonna use the copter to interrupt that capture. Okay, makes sense. We're gonna break through, but that's it. I guess one thing would have been like maybe to use this guy here and then interrupt with a tank, but it would have left it at like 8, so I'm pretty sure this would still go through in the next turn. But no, decides to not do that. I'm gonna take that copter out. So now this anti-air has many copters to shoot at, so that is something that you can definitely do. And you're gonna use the Blizzard. He could wait for the Winter Fury. Like he just needed 2 more rectangles or stars of charge, but now he just wants to use the power. This anti-air still can reach every single copter, but I think it means this tank can't reach comfortably to the fight. And I don't know, maybe the infantry? I don't know. Also just gets the extra stats. Maybe this one, maybe needed that extra stat, the plus 10 attack. But doesn't go for the capture. So this guy, that important thing to note is this guy did not go for the capture, which I assumed it was. No, it's actually going here. And what is in range from that tile? The airport, yeah. And we're gonna heal up this anti-air. Perfect spot to heal it up, as it is also in range of that anti-air. So a lot of pressure onto this anti-air. And there's very few units here for Tesla. There's no infantry as well. So we're gonna have to you know, I don't know, put this tank in front of the airport to make a copter. Like, it's just when you have no infantry to defend, it becomes very awkward and you start losing that defense. You need those infantry to defend. And we're gonna make a Neo tank, our first tech up of the match. And I think it wasn't necessary, I think, because there's not a lot of forces here by Tesla. There's just one tank, but you know, has the cash, might as well. I think Starflash is doing pretty well over here as well. You look at the value, 120 to 80. It definitely benefits Olaf in the sense, just start making Neo tanks. And maybe another reason is to also be able to pump out more infantry, because over here he only has one and an injured one and only two, so like doesn't have a lot of infantry. But so he made a Neo tank and makes two more infantry instead of making like triple tank or two tanks, copter, one infantry. You know, you're able to make two on this side where he wants to have more infantry to start capturing stuff. So there's multiple reasons to this, no? We're gonna get a few attacks here. Oh, and doesn't have the side slip, so this tank couldn't reach there. So another reason for the snow. Make gonna move forward, getting close to that to be the little buddies walking together. And which copter will this anti kill? Okay, that one. Staying in range of this Neo tank. Could have killed this one as well, but decides not to. Not even gonna continue capturing it. So was able to get one city flip, brings them to equal income, but Adder's gonna want more than that. And here goes Starflash for that airport capture. Oof, and the city capture. So double capture here. I'm gonna just keep pouncing here. Gonna take out one of the last infantry in this area for Tesla. Finish that off. Take out more tanks. Take this guy out. Take the other tank out. Oof, and there's like, look at that, there's 6 tanks right here. And only 1 artillery and 2 tanks, so very hard to deal with, especially if you don't have your airport, right? Like this tank has to go and shoot at this guy, so it's 1 tank less to shoot at these guys. Very, very tricky stuff. I'm gonna use Blizzard again, and now that makes it so this tank can't reach. And I think that's why the anti went here, because let's count, not 1, 2. If it was, say it's snow, and he uses side slip, can he reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? So because this anti is on this road, this tank cannot interrupt this capture with a side slip, because over here it's going to be 7, 8. So he's going to need a sidewinder to reach. So Starflash is like, I am completely eliminating the possibility of you getting this airport. I am getting it next turn. Brutal. The only thing though that I'm thinking is all these powers that Starflash is using from Olaf. He definitely needs to get a lead, because every time you're using it, it becomes more expensive. And Adder's power is so cheap. Like, and it's, well, I'm not sure if it's better than the snow. Maybe it isn't, but it is cheaper, so it's easier to get more often and get that +1. So it's gonna get tricky, you know. If the snow starts to get really expensive and they're at equal income, maybe then Adder can get more side slips in, and then can get an advantage and put more pressure onto Olaf than Olaf can onto Adder. Because at a certain point, I mean, you're using the snow all the time, but then Winter Fury is just gonna be way too expensive. So now Winter Fury is not even an option to consider. You're not relying on just snow all the time. And Tesla is gonna use side slip. We're gonna get a few shots here. Okay, we're gonna take out the anti-air. Start a capture right in front of the Neo tank. We're gonna block around, bring the artillery there. We finally have the mechs there together. Little buddies, there you go, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, just making a little ball here, trying to prevent this capture from being interrupted, but it can easily be interrupted. Look at that, boom, hit from the mountain. And has to make a panic medium tank here, because there's way too many tanks and not enough from Tesla to answer them. And there goes Starflash, boom, boom, gets both captures, puts him ahead, 4k in income again, as we were a few turns ago. Gonna definitely try to flip this city, and gets a little interrupt there. Neo tank is not gonna move into range of that artillery. Gonna get some shots into this artillery and this tank. Really overwhelming just in numbers, and gonna start this capture right here as well. So now Tesla, I think, can interrupt it with this artillery, maybe with a side step, can interrupt here, but I think that capture is gonna go through, putting even a greater of a lead onto Starflash, who has both airports. And if you listen to the intro I was giving in this video, if you have both airports, a good way to close out the game in this map is to make stealths. Because they're such a high income, they're not that expensive to make. And if they don't have an airport, they can't answer your stealth. You can only answer it with a stealth or a fighter. So it is a very good way of closing out the game. So Adder is not gonna allow this city capture to go through, and it looks like Tesla's gonna respect the Neo tank plus the copter spam and the tank spam. Investing a lot over here. Now Starflash has been making, the Neo tank has been making tank copter every single turn, seems like. I think a few infantry, but yeah, investing a lot over here to defend, push back this little attempt from Tesla to flip cities, put pressure. You also have to be careful of the HQ. If you cannot let go of this area, the HQ can become under threat. It's very easily blocked off. And it's also enabled Starflash to be making all these infantry, so now these are going to be in position. This guy that was made 2 turns ago, remember the double infantry? Now it's ready to go and capture this city. We're going to have our artillery covering it as well. So kind of playing on one side, attacked over here, then invested over here. You know, kind of playing everywhere. There's lots of stuff to do in this map. When I even try to go for this, this is not going to go through by Starflash for sure. But I don't know, it's forcing a fight. Tesla has not made a Neo tank to answer this Neo tank. He's just trying to deter it with artillery, which is fine. It's a very passive response to a Neo tank, but it is not enough. You cannot answer a Neo tank with an artillery. I'm telling you. It is so easy for the Neo tank to simply break through, and then one of the copters or the tanks go and slap at the artillery, and then that is it. Your army is just gonna die. So over here, Starflash is just gonna overextend here and take out some of the repairing units. Actually does get the city, putting a little bit more ahead into income, 27 to 22k, shifting all of the vehicles over to the left, over here, over to the one base side, to support these 2 captures in case Tesla decides to, ram in and attack. So he has enough to counter. And also because there's this medium tank which he doesn't have an answer to, but doesn't really care. If you look, there isn't any infantry by Tesla over here to start flipping some of the stuff. Not even the airport. Like, Tesla has had to make an anti-air this turn in case Starflash makes a copter. And then there's just no infantry. There's one here. So next thing is gonna make one. Then it's gonna take like 2 or 3 turns to get here. And now something has to go and attack this guy right here. Or else it's just gonna keep capturing stuff. So there we go. Boom. Gonna get that hit there. Gonna take out this guy. Interrupts the capture. And just gonna ball up back here. Also saved some funds from last turn. So now he has enough to comfortably make a Neo tank. And yeah, just like kind of pulling back. Trying to get into a better position. Isn't really behind that much in army value, honestly. Like 130 versus 134. I'd even say that Tesla has more. He's a little bit ahead on value, but at that income disparity, I think you want to be doing better. So definitely Starflash has the upper hand. Has both airports, more income. He might pick up on value, unit value very soon, just easily just stalling it out a little bit. And even has the better CO as well. But those powers are going to be getting more expensive. And it looks like Starflash is just going to... He's just pouncing in. Like, Copter going to hit this artillery. Neo tank takes out this anti-air in range of this Neo tank. Copter also coming in range of this anti-air. This tank also hitting this artillery. We're just going to first strike as much stuff as we can. Gets enough charge to use a blizzard. Just blizzards. It's just been blizzard after blizzard this game. It's very funny. We're gonna 2KO this guy and you know, I was thinking maybe this copter does. Oh no, it doesn't reach. By one tile it doesn't reach. If we could have taken this tank and then the tank could attack this artillery, that would have been huge, because now this artillery can attack this Neo tank, and then ooh, maybe because of the snow it can't reach, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this Neo tank could reach this Neo tank with a sidestep if you clear this tank out, which I think it shouldn't be too difficult. You can use this medium tank. I think it takes it out. Artillery shoots here, Neo tank, boom. You somewhat kill it. But Starflash, you know, he has this artillery behind it. He is about to finish this capture. It's at 6 HP and the city is at 4. So just one more turn. Gonna make another Neo tank right here. And that puts him now very ahead on value because of this huge attack. The thing is that it's very overextended. So a very risky play. Getting just a bunch of first strikes, uses the snow to try to prevent some attacks from Tesla and the counter attack. The center is just busy here finishing off this guy and making sure this airport doesn't make anything. And there goes the infantry finally going to be moving in there. And there goes the medium tank, as I was saying. There you go, boom, boom. Oh, uses bolt artillery and uses the sidestep now, yes, to finish that Neo tank off. And it's going to hit that artillery. Ooh, so now this Neo tank is just going to be all good. Just gonna chill, not gonna get shot by anything. Gonna enjoy this copter, take out this one. Gonna shoot at some stuff. So, but I think unless this guy, oh no, it doesn't reach. Okay, so I guess another effect of the snow, not allowing Tesla to interrupt this capture right here. So it's gonna put Starflash even more ahead in income. He's gonna shoot at that copter. Oof, I don't like that. I don't like when infantry are used to shoot at copters like that, because then now your infantry are all injured. But oh well. And this infantry seems to be having other plans. It doesn't want to join the party. It's actually, you know, you guys, I'm gonna go do my own thing. I'm gonna go and try to save our country and go capture some of these things. But there you go, Starflash gets it, and now it's 29 to 20k. So either Tesla has to do something. Needs to flip some income, and Starflash just wild, just like doesn't matter. I'm being completely overextended. I am ahead. I'm just gonna send everything right in front of this Neo tank, this medium tank, but just overwhelming with light vehicles, right? There isn't any Neo tank to counter any of these two or any artillery. It's just more so I'm just gonna shoot at everything else, bringing down that unit count. If you guys, 24 to 17. Plus the new units are going to be built, 27 to 17. Copter's going to go down, which is going to help a lot because now there's only one 4 HP copter. I'm going to take that guy out. Now these medium tank and Neo tank are going to have a feast. So there you go. Boom. And we're going to get side slip again. Oh, I know why. There's only one reason why this side slip is being used. Yeah, that is why. Speeds this capture by 1 turn and prevents anything from being like in range. But it doesn't seem like Starflash had any intent of delaying that. It's already given him enough value, preventing copters from being made. You know, was just able to dedicate to Neo tanks and tanks and got the income. So definitely a lot of value. And just trying to fight it out over here. And again, it's funny because any other player would be like, I have the income lead, I'm just gonna sit back, stall it out, and win that way. And Starflash is like, I have the income lead, I'm gonna brawl it out. And just like, you know, trade, just keep, you know, I'll take out a tank of yours, you take a tank of mine, and 1. But because I have more income, I can make 2 tanks, and you can make 1. So I'll win over the course of a few turns. Also, it also gives him a lot of like map control. Like, the fight is over here. Yes, he is like losing a lot of units, but the fight is here and he's able to, for example, threaten over here. It's just very comfortable, doesn't have to even protect these cities or anything. So it gives him a lot of control over the map and over the match in general. We're gonna, again, same thing. All the light vehicles are just going and hitting at other light vehicles or infantry. I'm gonna use the snow ones again. I wouldn't be surprised if there's no Winter Furies used in this match at all. It's just Blizzard after Blizzard. That is very funny. Just powers. And another, we got the Neotank chain going on over here. Finally, Tesla is gonna recover that airport. I bet he's gonna be very happy about that. Gonna take out a bunch of these light, all these tanks, and yeah, just finish all of these off. And now Tesla has 2 Neotanks and 1 medium tank, but Starflash is gonna have enough to answer. You know, 3 Neotanks, artillery, and makes a rocket. That's something that also Tesla seems to do a lot. I'm not sure why. In more of like the late game stages where he has more income and is winning, makes rockets to like stall it out and like, you know, kind of have that very long range indirect unit. Starflash is going to start this capture over here, which only can be reached by a side slip infantry. And it seems like we're pulling back. It's like, okay, you know, enough fighting. I've flipped enough stuff. Now I have to be careful. Now I do have to protect these cities from this guy, possibly. The unit count has dropped quite a bit, so don't want to keep fighting or overextend it here for too long, or else we're gonna start losing that advantage they have. So he has to be careful. So definitely had to pull back. And this rocket, look at that, that's insane. Whoops, I moved the map. I'll edit that later. This rocket does in 1 turn protect this capture right here. So that's interesting. Got the double Neotank wall here with this one as well, so that nothing can hit him. We got another Neotank as well. I'm gonna protect this guy as well. So Tesla is like, I'm not going down without a fight either. I know I am behind. I'm behind in income. Now unit count is okay, and unit value is again decent, 134 to 122. It's just the overextension by Starflash. Like overall, the Tesla was able to get better value from the trades. The only thing that is keeping Starflash in the advantage is the income and the CO, pretty much. And so we're gonna just pull back. We're gonna interrupt this capture and just have this wall here and protect with artillery as well, just locking down that city. And we're gonna make a copter. It's been quite a few turns that we haven't seen any copters. So Tesla's gonna be happy to get this city. So now it's 29 to 21k. To gets a shot there with the rocket. He's gonna sacrifice this tank onto this Neo tank to get charged, of course. To do. Okay, gets a side slip. I think it's to take this. I think it's a. Is it a KO? Ooh. Okay, gets a hit from the city, boom, and then and finishes it off with this medium tank. Okay, interesting, and starts this capture and brings the other Neo tank. And I think it's interesting because actually this Neo tank is covered by this rocket, right? Like if you break through here, it's covered from there, but nothing is covering it from over here. So like you can definitely do an artillery shot. You bring this guy, boom. So. Somewhat of a risky situation here by Tesla, but he is behind, so he does have to do risky things. Here goes a copter, which is going to force Starflash into making anti-airs. And yeah, just bringing everything towards here. If he manages to flip these 2 cities, that would be huge. That's like a 4k difference. So that would bring it to 23 to 27, so manageable. Let's see if we see another snow. Starflash is gonna interrupt both captures probably. Yeah, there you go. 1, boom, and gets enough for the blizzard. Gonna send the other one and doesn't get the KO. Attacks the medium tank, takes out the tank and gets the other shot there. But that is in rocket range, so we'll see how that works out. This city is also interrupted, and the unit value is 96 to 134. There's 3 Neo tanks here by Starflash, and there's 2. By Tesla and this rocket. So let's see, boom, rocket gets a lot of value. This rocket has been shooting at stuff. It's been good. Gonna take out both infantry there. Copter barely moves. And we're pulling back. We are, okay. Tesla's gonna be pulling back, does not attack with the Neo tanks. So took out a Neo tank. And well, actually took out a Neo tank and severely injured this one and lost one, right? This one, that was at 1 HP. So a decent trade, but now Starflash is ahead in unit value. He starts at the end of the turn after this little kill there. Actually, already starts ahead in value, so that means that he's very well in unit value. And the income's still there. It's been really hard for Tesla to flip anything. And so now Starflash, instead of engaging over here with the rockets and the Neo tanks, just gonna front ship to the other side. Gonna try to go for the next objective. I've successfully defended my cities over here. Even got this one, I got both of them. And now my next objective is to close out the game. I need to finish it, I need to close out. So just gonna send everything over here, maybe potentially threaten an HQ cap, just possibly go for this city. You always have to have that in mind. Always have your next objectives in mind. I hear a lot of people struggle with that. They have an advantage, and then it seems like they don't know what to do, and then all of a sudden they lose control of the match, and then they lose, and they don't understand why. And it's like you need to have clear objectives all the time. Even if you're winning, you need to know what's the next big thing. What's the next city that you're going for? If it's a base log, an airport log, an HQ cap, what is it? Like, always have the next steps ahead in mind. Yeah, that's gonna give so much structure to what you're doing with your army as well. Like it's gonna have a lot of coherence. Like your army is gonna have a purpose where it's going and where it's attacking, and you're gonna have a lot of control of the match. Your opponent's gonna be like, oh no that city, oh no that city, oh no that base. It's like, you're controlling it. You're marking your objectives and you're going towards them. So, just gonna get a shot here on the Neo tank and reposition in the middle, respecting this shift, the shift by Starflash. Starflash is like perfect. That is just what I want. I'm just gonna keep shifting the battle over here, over to your one base, forcing the rocket to slowly move. Even gets access to these tiles because you can see, look at that, mountain, HQ, river. Like this tank. I mean, yeah. It's not too hard to dislodge this tank, but anyways, kind of forces the fight into where it's more advantageous for Starflash and where he can get more reward. There's 2 cities, 3 cities even in range to be captured, not even to mention the HQ, right? So definitely a good shift there by Starflash. Instead of like keep fighting here, it's like, I'm gonna force this reaction, and Tesla did that. He did react. So now the fight is moved on over here onto the HQ. Tesla is going to be, he has to defend. So it's going to take those out. Going to get a shot there. It's going to use side slip. Makes this medium tank reach that Neo tank. And probably a bunch of infantry shots here. Yeah, going to take those all out and reposition. And that is going to be it. And all these turns at an income disadvantage. He is ahead by 8k in unit value, but is it enough to sustain an 8k income difference? I know the answer to that. We're gonna bring this Neo tank, just ringing all these Neo tech ups, as Starflash has been losing them against Teslas, but again, he doesn't care, and he doesn't use the snow. Will we see a Winter Fury this time? Tesla's gonna clean up over here, take this infantry out, brings the rocket closer. This copter will have to run away next turn because the center is now in position. There's so many tech ups, right? Like, it almost looks like a high funds match. Like, you have so much income in this map. And Starflash is gonna use these 2 guys to break through this infantry. Gonna take out a few more. Does not go for Winter Fury again. Uses the Blizzard. And the Neo tank is gonna move in and boom, take out that rocket. Oof, that hurts. Copter's gonna shoot at the medium tank, gonna bring their artillery. It can be shot by, oh no, it cannot. Look at that, because of the snow. Again, this snow is just wild. Copter's gonna be sitting on the city to prevent any captures. Got a few guys here defending these cities. And now it's looking amazing for Starflash. Like, he's been having the advantage for so long, and Tesla has been like almost there to always, to almost recover, but hasn't been able to recover just yet. Let's see. We're gonna get a side slip. Can Tesla bring it back? It's looking ever so more worse, or I'm not sure how the expression is, but something like that. You're gonna have to take care of this HQ. Gonna sit on it. Brings this double artillery here by Starflash as well. We're gonna try to take this guy, but it doesn't go down. And gonna get some shots here. Another Neotank as well. Finishes up that copter. And we're gonna use the Blizzard again. Why this Blizzard? I don't know. Just to be annoying, maybe? Possibly. We're gonna get a little sacrifice there, gets the kill there, probably guarantees the GG. That was enough. The snow, the constant snow, the winter, not the winter fury, the winter mild. Enough of it was able to wither down the army and the chances of Tesla to finally tap out and give the GG. I think it was a long game, right? Day 30, but I think it was crazy that it started off pretty even, and then Starflash gets this nice position in the middle. Boom, gets there in the middle, puts all these units in a row, making it hard to break through. Gets the interrupt there, defends with artillery. It's looking like a nice position. Everything is out of range, but it's Adder. And sometimes you forget you're fighting against Adder. You forget about the +1 movement. And then all of a sudden, Tesla is able to get a sidestep and boom, takes out 2 tanks and 1 artillery while losing a single vehicle. This anti-air has no job. There's only 2 tanks and 1 copter to do something. And instead of waiting for the Winter Fury, just decides to use the snow. And even then it was it was, look at that. I would say that Tesla was even ahead in unit value and unit count. That was a good trade. As he keeps fighting, and look at that difference. 34 to 25 and 107 to 76. But then Starflash uses the snow again. Just really crippling. This tank cannot reach that anti-air. Also limiting what the sidestep can do, right? So I thought that was very interesting. Not a single time. Let's go all the way. All the way to the very last. Dun. The stats. 9 powers. 9 what is it called? Winter blizzards. 9 blizzards and 9 side slips. No supers used. Just insane. And you can see by the look how much income Starflash made all these turns. 622,000 versus 5, so a whole 100,000 more funds generated by Starflash because of always having those 8k, 9k, 7k more income every single turn. Even though the kills, that's insane. Starflash lost way more, 491 in value versus 409, so lost 80,000 more, but generated 100,000 more. So even though he was having negative trades, because of that income, he was able to afford that and get those powers. And even though the Blizzard was more expensive than the side slip, because he has more income, he gets more charge and is able to get the same amount of powers in as the side slip, which is cheaper. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this match as much as I did. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.